What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new scenario. I've already done a few scenarios before where Goku is found by someone else and raised by that person, but it's been a while since I've done that and this is one I haven't tried before. The concept's pretty straightforward. Kakarot lands on Earth, and he's found by the Red Ribbon Army. How is that going to change the story? Let's begin. What if Kakarot was found by the Red Ribbon Army? Kakarot's pod lands on Earth, and the Red Ribbon Army detects this. By pure coincidence, one of their scouts is able to find this, and immediately they're on high alert, wondering if someone's trying to attack them because it looks like some sort of new technology landed here. At first they thought it was a meteor, but then they come to see it's actually a piece of tech. Maybe it's some sort of alien tech that they could exploit. But once they find the pod, they see that there's a kid inside. Okay, well, that's weird. The space pod definitely looks like something they've never seen before, though. They retrieve the pod and they're about to just leave the boy behind, but they notice that he has a monkey tail on him, which isn't really too abnormal. I mean, there's a bunch of animal people on Earth, but this is different. He looks like a regular human with a tail for some reason. Plus, the fact that he's in this alien-looking space pod, that makes them wonder, is this kid an alien? Surely that's not going to be the case here, but they decide to take him, and they find out he actually is an alien. Plus, this kid has memories of who he is and where he's from. Kakarot never hits his head, so he remains as Kakarot, knowing his name and his origin. And the Red Ribbon Army sees potential in him. First of all, since he's an alien, they don't know what he's capable of. Maybe he has some sort of crazy abilities that'll help them. But on top of that, he should be easy to mold into a warrior. They could tell he seems like some type of warrior already, and once he starts actually talking with them, they learn that he's from a family of warriors. Kakarot doesn't really know much about the Saiyans. Like, he knows where he's from, but it's not like he was really awake on planet Vegeta much. Most of that time he was in an incubation chamber. Most of what he remembers is Bardock and Gine telling him to survive on Earth. But he still has that warrior instinct, and he's definitely not going to be easy for them to contain. Plus, he's pretty powerful, which they like. They do more tests on Kakarot to figure out what he's like, and a lot of this involves combat because apparently he's fit for that. They start to train him as a soldier. Already as a toddler, he's way stronger than an average human is, which is pretty crazy to them. And he's probably going to grow even further from here on out. So Kakarot is raised as a soldier essentially. They even try to give him a Red Ribbon Army uniform, but he opts to keep his Saiyan armor. A bit sentimental about his home because all he remembers is his father and mother. It's mainly just to remember his origins. And it suits him a lot better too. Eventually, Kakarot becomes really powerful. As part of the Red Ribbon Army, he does have a purpose, so he doesn't betray them or anything. He gets food, shelter, and even pay from them. Plus a bunch of training, and he's treated very well by them too. He moves up the ranks really quickly. Because of that, he remains loyal to the army. And, given the fact that he's a Saiyan warrior and he loves fighting in general, this is a great arrangement for him. But eventually he becomes too strong for the army. They really have no way to train him. Like, he trains with people like Ninja Murasaki, and he's able to contend with all of them pretty well. But they decide to kick it up a notch. They find a brand new teacher for him, hiring a mercenary that they like to use. Mercenary Tao. He's paid to train Kakarot. And of course he's a really tough teacher, but he sees the potential in this kid too. He finds it pretty interesting, wondering what heights he could truly ascend to. So, while this is all happening with Kakarot's upbringing, what happens with everybody else? Well, at some point, Bulma ventures out to find the Dragon Balls, but she's unsuccessful. The Peel-Off gang is actually the ones to get them. But before they get the final ball, the Red Ribbon Army is actually able to intervene, getting the Dragon Balls for themselves. And they do this by deploying their strongest weapon, Kakarot. The Peel-Off gang tries to fight him, but even with their giant mech, they're not able to do anything against him. Kakarot retrieves the Dragon Balls for them, and for accomplishing this mission, he gets promoted to General, the youngest person to ever get promoted to that rank. The Peel-Off gang did steal Dragon Balls from people like Roshi, and even Gohan, which was pretty tough for them to do, but they accomplished it. So none of them ever meet Kakarot, but they are pretty worried about what the Dragon Balls are being used for, so they track down the Peel-Off gang, and once they're found, they figure out the Red Ribbon Army actually got the Dragon Balls. It's too late now. Commander Red gets them, and makes a wish to Shenron. He wishes to grow a little bit taller. And for this, Staff Officer Black kills him, then taking over the army himself, now calling it the Black Ribbon Army. That was a really stupid thing to make a wish on. They're not sure when the Dragon Balls are going to be back, but they assume it's probably going to be about a year from now. It's going to be pretty tough to find them again, and maybe that time frame isn't even accurate. But they might not even need the Dragon Balls. With the power they have now, they could probably just take over Earth on their own. And under the management of Black, the army is a lot more focused. So, without Goku as a main protagonist here, we're going to need someone in his place. Who's going to be the protagonist of the story? Well, technically Kakarot still is the protagonist, but we need kind of a hero figure. And there's one very good option for us to follow. Across her journey, Bulma has met Yamcha, Chi-Chi, Ox King, and even Roshi while looking for the Dragon Balls. She wasn't able to get the Dragon Balls for herself, but she still makes all these connections, including Grandpa Gohan too, because he's obviously alive here. So Roshi's at least met her, which is nice. But he also still meets Krillin because nothing's going to affect him going to Kame House. Roshi really wants to make sure the army stop because it's clear that they're going to try and take over Earth. He's going to train Krillin as a martial artist, but lets him know he might be tasked with fighting them one day. That's not going to be his main purpose. He just wants Krillin to know that. And Krillin's perfectly fine with that. He even trains under a former student, Gohan, who's returned to Kame House a bunch, and he's grown to like Krillin too. Eventually we get to the 21st World Tournament, which Jackie Chun wins, but Krillin's actually the runner-up there. Back to the Black Ribbon Army. Amidst Kakarot's training, he eventually comes in contact with the Crane School, because Tao's brother is the one who heads it. Now, he's not going to join the Crane School or train under them or anything. This is just for a sparring match. The strongest student in the Crane School should be fighting him. So for the first time, Kakarot meets Tien, and also Chaozu. And this is still the point where Tien's an asshole, and Kakarot's probably an asshole too. So it's not like they become friends here or anything. They just have a sparring match, and while it's pretty respectful, it's not like the two of them become friends or anything. Kakarot actually beats Tien, and this makes him want to grow even stronger. And eventually he joins the 22nd World Tournament and comes in contact with Krillin there. The final match is between him and Krillin, and Tien ends up winning there, only motivating Krillin even more. But it's really interesting seeing the Turtle School. Besides Krillin, he also meets Yamcha and Roshi there too. Tien and Chaozu aren't going to turn good right away, but this is their first exposure to a different side of martial arts. Do they really want to be like Tao and that kid Kakarot? Also, something about Kakarot kind of worries them. He's an alien. What is he here for? Why'd he come to Earth in the first place? It's a little bit unnerving, especially because he doesn't really seem like a good guy. Roshi and Krillin actually don't know about Kakarot right now. There's some rumors about a really strong soldier in the Black Ribbon Army, but it's just rumors. Anyways, Krillin vows to grow even stronger, and so does Tien. Maybe their paths will cross again one day. As for Kakarot, he's continuously growing, soon enough surpassing Tao as well. He's a really amazing warrior, but one thing lurks in Kakarot's mind. When will the other Saiyans show up? He feels like they've abandoned him. Or maybe they're all just dead. He actually doesn't know what the fate of the Saiyans was. He was sent here for some reason, and he thought his parents were going to come get him. Now, he's not torn up about it. It's not like he's missing his parents or anything. It's more so the fact that he's confused. Why did no one ever come here? From what he knows, he should have a brother too. He does remember his parents talking. He doesn't have a lot of the details about it, but he remembers they were talking about some guy named Frieza, and his father thought that Frieza was going to destroy their planet or kill all the Saiyans or something. Maybe that actually happened. And he wants to find out the truth behind it one day. But for now, of course, he's on Earth. It's not like he could really go into space. He does have a space pod, but he doesn't know where to go. The Pilaf gang returns, freeing Demon King Piccolo. By now, the Black Ribbon Army has subtly taken over everything. They're more so working behind the scenes, though. They're not some overt dictatorship, it's more like an Illuminati type thing. They control a bunch of companies, and they're in the pockets of a bunch of governments, too. Covertly, the Black Ribbon Army has achieved world domination, and barely anyone even knows about it. But King Piccolo's obviously going to have something to say about that. No one actually knows that Piccolo's been freed just yet. He does want to go after the tournament contestants, but it takes a little bit longer for the Pilaf gang to get him and actually free him too. So by now, the tournament's actually done. They have a lot of the contestants on their list, so they're definitely going to go after them. But Piccolo is first focused on the Dragon Balls. He's going to go for them first, and then once he gets his youth, that's when he'll be sure to stop everybody that can get in his way. That includes any of the World Tournament contestants and the powerful Black Ribbon Army. He actually does know about Kakarot because the Pilaf gang knows about him. And that's why he's moving a lot more slowly now. He wants to be sure to get him out of the way first, and not alert anyone. Once Kakarot and the Black Ribbon Army are defeated, that's when he could play his hand. So he does this covertly. He's able to get the Dragon Balls for himself, mainly thanks to the help of his sons. Shenron summoned, Piccolo wishes for his youth, and he kills Shenron. Although, while he was pretty covert with everything, there was one person that knew King Piccolo got freed, Kami. And to try and stop him, he takes on a new student. It's Krillin. He's already gone to Korn's tower and trained under Korn himself. So Kami noticed his potential, and he wants to train him even further to fight Piccolo. They're not going to have time for a ton of training, but just enough for him to at least grow a little bit. But they need to move quickly. Piccolo has restored his youth. And once this happens, Piccolo goes to the Black Ribbon Army, decimating it completely. There's no way they could stand a chance against him. All of the soldiers are killed, and even Commander Black is killed too. Strong warriors like Blue, Tao, and even Kakarot go against him. But everyone's defeated. The last person standing is Kakarot. And at first, he does exceptionally well. Of course, the army knows that under a full moon, he could transform, and they've been able to cut off his tail to prevent that from happening. It's regrown by now, and they've been trying to recreate a way for him to transform willingly, but couldn't figure out a way. What they didn't realize is that Kakarot's space pod actually was able to create a fake moon if they needed. But Kakarot has an issue right now. He puts up a really good fight against him, but he's up against Piccolo and his sons at the same time. Had it just been Piccolo alone, he might have been able to defeat him, but this makes it a lot tougher. And mainly because Piccolo's prepared for this. He's not caught off guard by Kakarot's strength. And it's good that he picked off the strongest people one by one, especially people like Tao. Plus, amidst their battle, Piccolo decides to grow giant. This doesn't make him stronger, but Kakarot has trouble fighting a giant opponent like him. And at one point in the fight, Piccolo stomps on him, crushing Kakarot beneath his feet, breaking most of the bones on his body at once. Kakarot can no longer fight. And to finish him off, while giant, Piccolo launches a mouth beam to kill Kakarot. And just like that, the final soldier of the Black Ribbon Army falls. and now no one can stop Piccolo. His sons go after all the other strong warriors, and Piccolo even has another son, Piccolo Jr. Right now he's in an egg, and in case Piccolo ever dies, Piccolo Jr. will be born as his reincarnation, and King Piccolo is quickly able to take over the world. But Krillin is still training under Kami. He's Earth's final hope, and at some point, he's sent out to fight Piccolo. He gets some help from former enemies like Tien and Chaozu, but also of course his allies, Roshi and Yamcha. Together they're actually able to fight Piccolo's troops. They have a way to defeat him that doesn't kill Kami. Tien tries to do the Mafuba on him, but it doesn't end up working. So with no other choice, they kill Piccolo. Their combined might is able to destroy him completely. But he has a backup plan. Piccolo Jr. is born, far removed from King Piccolo or his other sons, so no one knows about it. But Kami is still alive, so they put 2 and 2 together and realize that Piccolo is still out there in some form. They're gonna have to face him again somehow. But Krillin, with training from Korn and Kami, was able to save Earth, now recognized worldwide as a hero. The best part is, it seems like the Black Ribbon Army is dealt with too. Well, sorta. Kakarot lies in a crater for days on end, unconscious, and his life is slowly fading away. On the verge of death, a large man finds Kakarot, picking him up and bringing him to safety. Kakarot wakes up on what looks like an operating table. He's not fully healed just yet, but someone tells him to not move around too much. They're in a cave right now. Next to him is a giant guy that looks like Frankenstein, introducing himself as Android 8, and there's an old man looking over him, Dr. Gero. Kakarot looks around and he sees a bunch of blueprints and a bunch of weird technology. He also sees Tao on an operating table not too far away, but he looks to be partially robotic now. He barely survived and was turned into a cyborg, and Gero tells Kakarot that's the same thing that happened to him. He saved him and fixed him up. Kakarot is now also a cyborg, a work in progress though, and Gero also added a few upgrades. He has a reinforced body. He has a built-in way to detect other people. Of course, he even knows how to sense ki by now, but now it's essentially like he has a scouter built in his head. That's not what they call it because they don't have scouters, but it's something similar. And he also looks at his hands. There's some gems in the middle of them. He's fitted with energy absorption. He was working on an infinite energy engine, but that's not quite done yet. He could fit Kakarot with that once it's ready. He also noticed that after Kakarot healed, he seemed to grow a lot stronger. It seemed that when Saiyans are on the brink of death, they can grow a ton from this, and this is the first time it's happened with Kakarot. Gero is also working on a way to create an artificial moon, and he found Kakarot's old space pod, so maybe he'll be able to fit Kakarot with an artificial moon in his hands. Of course, you don't need tech to make an artificial moon, like Vegeta's able to do that on his own, but they don't know that. What Gero has in mind is implanting Kakarot with a projector, so he can essentially project a fake moon on command. Gero wasn't really sure what number to name him, but he doesn't go with the numbering system for Kakarot. He just calls him Cyborg Kakarot, same with Cyborg Tao. Gero thinks that working together, they'll be able to avenge the Red Ribbon Army. Kakarot doesn't know how to feel about this new cyborgization, but he feels a lot stronger. He actually is starting to like this upgrade. Gero is also working on some other projects. A bunch of his other androids are failures, but he even plans on making ones based on his dead son and his dead wife, both of whom ended up dying in the attack. But he has to work out some kinks first, so that's why he's creating other androids in the meantime. He just finished Android 12, which was kind of a failure, and now he's moving on to 13. But he's glad that these two cyborgs worked out. Tao is back, and Kakarot's back. Meanwhile, Piccolo Jr. is out there somewhere. And not just him. Far out in space, Raditz is on a mission with Vegeta and Nappa. They start to realize that, soon enough, they might need some extra manpower. And Raditz remembers, his brother is out there somewhere, isn't he? Some planet called Earth. He doesn't know too much about it, but someday they might actually need to go there and retrieve him. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What do you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.